The CEO of Bitwork, he is a leading exponent of the science of integral welfare and happiness. As the co-founder of the Latin American Positive Psychology Association, he aims to bring the latest advances in the science of happiness to the region. His project, Hope in a Bottle, focused on breast cancer education and prevention, leading him to work with former US President Bill Clinton and the Susan G. Komen Foundation. He is the best-selling author of The Traps of Happiness. I'm delighted to welcome Eduardo Masse to Happier Talk. Eduardo, welcome to Happier Talk.
Thank you, Tal. A real pleasure to be here with you.
It's great to see you. So, I know you do a lot of work in Latin America, introducing happiness to the workplace. Tell me a little bit about what you do.
Well, I take it even one step beyond that. We go all the way to well-being as an integrated whole. And it's basically, the way we do it is we condition those who want to work with us that the elite of the company, the 20 top, should be involved in the process, in the first step of the process.
I want to push on that because you want their commitment, because you want them to be role models.
I'll give you an analogy. In the family, if the parents don't agree, there is not much the kids will do. So in the companies are the same, and it happened before. We went and trained some managers or directors, but the moment the CEO, the CFO do not agree, then they can't really do much.
Yeah, so you need the buy-in from the top.
You need the buy-in. You need the top to agree, to get aligned, and from there you go down.
How do you get them aligned?
It's a process that we do for a 12-month period of time. It's a 12-level program. And we meet once a month. We have many exercises during the month. And through the process, about the third session, we already know who we're working with. It's a program that promotes that the participants will explore their human side, will get to know each other, will venture to speak about themselves. They will work on themselves. And the program is focused mainly on the well-being of the participant before the well-being of the company. Because our philosophy is if we help the individual, then the individual is going to bring that benefit to their families, to his own personal life, enjoy that and bring it back to the group, but with a true solid foundation. I don't like to work with people and pretend that everything is fine. No, it's more our program at the beginning is very hard because people are getting used these days to wear the mask and pretend that everything is fine. And in a world that is so busy, there's not much time, you want things fast, and we're getting so many bad news, we get dehumanized. And that's what makes people not want to commit. They don't commit to, if they can commit to their families or to themselves, there's no way they're going to commit to a corporation, an organization. So you'll be surprised, but it's not really hard to achieve that.
Yeah. And
because it's a 12-month program, you get people to eventually, it gets to a point where the mentor is not the most important part of the program. They see the changes in their own fellow co-workers, and they start wanting that for themselves.
And the people who go through the program, the 12-month program, are the people at the top of the organizational hierarchy? Top. What about the rest? Do they go through a program?
They go after. On the middle of the program, 6 months into the program, we already know who we're working with. And then we suggest an average of 4 to 6 of those members, of those 20, to be formed as pillars of well-being. From those 4 to 6, we're going to suggest one to most probably become the chief happiness officer of that organization. But within 6 months into the program, we already know who we're working with. We have the trust of those leaders. And building up on those 4 to 6 members, we use them to work with us to train the rest of the company.
I see. So it's also a train-the-trainer approach.
Yes. So when we leave, they have 4 to 6 pillars that will help the company introduce this into their corporate culture, It's amazing.
Good, I like that a lot. Also, I'm sure what that does is when these senior managers become the pillars, the teachers, that reinforces the ideas in them. Because the best way to learn is to teach.
Builds up self-esteem, leadership, commitment. It's now you're talking to a team, to a real team.
So more and more companies are introducing a chief happiness officer.
We're promoting that very strongly in Mexico and Latin America. Our goal, because we have signed an agreement with one of the biggest universities in Mexico that is supporting our programs. So everybody who goes through our programs finish up with a diploma from the university. And that's add value to the participant, add value to the program. And our goal is to become the #1 trainee program for chief happiness officers in America Latina.
Okay, so I'm a senior manager in an organization. What do I learn in your program? Some concrete tools.
Okay, you will learn. Oh, that's a good one. You will learn to first of all, you will learn to know yourself. You will learn about how to take care of yourself. You will learn that you have to be your main priority, your main goal, because if you can be the best you can be, if the program helps you to be the best you can be, then you can be the best husband, the best father, the best friend, the best co-worker, the best leader. And I think that's the greatest achievement of the program.
Do they meditate? Do they...
We use the mindfulness. We go with Ellen Langer approach to
so
mindfulness. We do some. We teach them to visualize. I like Dan Gilbert's explanation on that, because I believe that I've seen it in practice for individuals to really feel what they want to achieve. They have to visualize it in a very clear way. We're trapped by our past because our past experiences generate feelings, emotions. So every time it's easier to feel to get back to something you already felt for. But when you look in the future and you have no feelings, only ideas, that future is going to fade. So we teach people not only how to get close to that create that emotion they want to achieve, but to really program their goals. An end goal and a middle end goal.
So if I understand you correctly, so let's say my goal in my organization is to reach a certain milestone of, say, $1 million revenues by July 1st. I would then close my eyes, imagine myself reaching that milestone and feeling what that would be like to experience.
The first thing we teach them is that in order for a goal to be a real one, you need to understand that the purpose is bigger than the goal itself. So what does the $1 million means to you?
Yes.
I don't go and teach companies to win the game, because I don't believe this company is being, the market is going to be controlled or ruled by companies who want to win. This is a game where companies need to understand that they need to last.
Okay.
Because let's talk about football. You have great teams, and Dallas won the Super Bowl, and they won the Super Bowl not because of the brand. They won that season because of the players. But if you dismantle that team, and that's a total new different team, even if you like Dallas and you swear by the team, by the brand, you know that if you don't have the same players, you don't know what's going to happen. So the same happened with the companies. Companies have a big problem retaining talent that costs them to obtain, to train, to trust, and those talents are probably leaders of different projects. So when that leader leaves, the company has huge expenses. I will bet my own money on companies that are capable to retain talent in order to prove that the next season they're going to keep winning or reaching the Super Bowl.
And one of the ways to retain talent is to take care of your employees, because if I feel cared for, I'm much more likely to stay in the organization.
This is what I said on my appearance yesterday on the program on Mohasu with Sean Aker and Nick Mars and others, is that if I'm able to, in a proactive way, procure for the well-being of my employees. Those employees are going to bring that back to me.
Very good. You talked earlier about connecting the goal to purpose. I want to go back to the exercise that you would do with me if I were the senior manager in the organization. So I want to make the $1 million by July 1st. I connect it to purpose, so I can say something like, I want to make that $1 million because then I can have more impact on my stakeholders, whether it's customers, if I'm dealing with the environment, or making people happier, whatever it is. So I connect it to purpose, and then there is an emotional reaction.
Yes, because look, you alone won't be able to reach $1 million. You need people to follow you on that goal. And that goal needs to mean something more for you and your team members than just a paycheck. It needs to mean probably security, probably satisfaction, probably recognition.
Impact.
Impact. So you have to incorporate all of those emotions and feelings to the meaning of the money. No, Dan Gilbert says, it used to be success and then happiness. It's the other way around. How this $1 million will bring satisfaction, well-being, and happiness to me? What does it mean to my family, to my end goal, which is security?
Right, so rather than have a narrow view of what your goal or purpose is, expand it.
Exactly, because it's what I said yesterday. My goal is that corporations eventually put their human members, the members of the company first, and then the interest of the company. Because that's how you make this a win-win situation. And in today's world, that's much needed.
It is indeed much needed. Eduardo, thank you very much for the work that you're doing for spreading happiness in corporations.
Thanks to you, because you're the one who inspired me to come this way. You're the one, he's the guilty one.
I'm happy to be guilty there. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.